Welcome back, everybody, to Area of Effect Prepping. In today's video here, I wanted to talk a little bit about some books, right? Now, everybody is aware of, such things as 98.6 from Cody Lundeen, Special Forces Survival Guide from Chris McNabb, or the SAS Survival Handbook from John Lofty Wiseman. Now, a lot of people know these because they're common in the, let's call it the community. They're common in the community for being able to teach you all different sorts of, I don't want to call them ideas, but effectively they teach you how to do certain things, from identifying certain types of trees that you can actually eat or drink things from or do things from, whatever, teaching you how to filter water, how to make a shelter, whatever it be. They do a lot, and they do it quite well. And obviously different versions help out with people who learn it in different ways. Maybe you need more of a picture version. You're more of a visual person. Other people may be able to pick it up from just reading it, right? But the top section is where I mostly want to focus here because everybody knows these. What about this? What about these, right? Going Home from A. American. Charlie's Requiem from A. American with Walt Browning. Or Dark Highway Home, Setting Out, Lars H. Larson, right? And then obviously there are others. These just happen to be the three that I picked out here because they were the first books of their own series that I had down here. I know I have the book 1 Second After up on my bedside table, and that's currently the one I'm reading. But personally, I think that these can provoke a lot of thought. Because unless you've lived through a disaster, you're not really sure what to expect, right? You just think everything is going to be perfectly fine. Everything will be all set, good to rock and roll, and no major issues. If only it were actually that easy, Personally, to me, I find Going Home to be my personal favorite. In these, but it does provoke some thought, each and every one. There's currently 12 books of the Going Home series as of filming this, which is going to be in February of 25. But it's provoked so much thought in my preps and changing how I do things, or even how I run my gear in my day-to-day. Okay. And just from reading the back here, which I'm going to grab this here, but just from reading the back, when Morgan Carter's car breaks down 250 miles from his home, he figures his weekend plans are ruined, but things are about to get much worse. Now, obviously, this is all make-believe, but, country's power grid has collapsed, no electricity, no running water, no internet, and no way to know when normalcy will be restored. Okay. But as an avid survivalist, he takes to the road with his prepper pack on his back, going from Tallahassee to his home in Lake County, all the way through having chaos, but he's hell-bent on getting home to his wife and daughters, right? Now that's just what's on the back of the book. Okay, that anybody can go and check that out. But personally, that book right there has given me so many thoughts on gear to carry, how to carry it, what exactly are you bringing? Obviously, there's a big thing of prepping on a budget, right? I've mentioned that, I'm pretty sure, in a couple of my videos. Of how do you prep on a budget? Well, sometimes you do have to save up for things and try to locate either similar ones or at least something that will do as good of a job. Maybe it's not the name brand, but it'll do the job. The biggest thing for me out of that book was giving more of an understanding, because unless you've been through a disaster, you don't know. But at least these books here can give you an idea. Okay, they're going to make you think. And I know some people don't like to think about it. Oh, that's a scary thought. I don't want to think about that. That could never happen, right? Well, I don't know about that. Ask California about the wildfires. Ask the Carolinas about Hurricane Helene, right? Go back a few years to Texas. How about that Texas ice storm? These are areas that typically did not get this type of weather, but they did. Well, I can't say anything about the fire, so that California does typically get. But the Carolinas, usually the coastal may be affected, but the inner part usually does not get affected by hurricanes other than some rain. Well, they definitely got a lot more than what they bargained for in that one. The wildfires are spreading pretty good, and again, if people from these areas had prepared themselves. Now, obviously, these two cases that I'm discussing there are ones that you're going to want to, quote, bug out. You're going to want to get out of that area. But the areas such as the Texas ice storm, well, it's not a bugging out. It's not going to do you any good to go out. But knowing that I can hunker down in my home, I could stay warm, my kids can stay warm, my wife or husband can stay warm, my family can stay warm in that ice storm. We don't have to go out for food. We got that. Something happened with the electricity, great. We still got that. We still have something to help take care of this and keep us warm and fed. That is what's prepping. That's what the main focus of prepping is about. It's not about the world ended. It's what about this emergency that's going to last a week before we get back to normal, and do I have enough? I know of a few people that they even say, oh, I got maybe a couple days worth of food in my house. Why do you only have that? I understand that people have to prep on a budget, but I'm going to tell you something. If I'm able to put this together, I think you have a fair chance at it too, even if it's a couple cans at a time, right? But as far as these books go, this is, again, my personal opinion about these is if you're wanting to read a book series that you're going to get some entertainment out of, that you also want it to provoke some thought with you, Going Home is a fantastic read. As I said, there's 12 books, so you're going to have plenty of time. And it's going to go everything from military to civilian, and now don't get me wrong, there is some parts of it that I look at it of there's no way on God's green earth is that going to happen. I'm not going to reveal what they are, but I'll tell you that. Same thing with Setting Out. It just is not going to happen. Okay, particularly in Setting Out, I think there's a lot of things in there that there's no way. You would have to be the luckiest son of a gun in an apocalyptic situation for that to happen, and I don't see it happening to maybe but one person in the country, and I doubt it even then. So I leave you with this thought. Other than your standard books like these that are meant for teaching you skills, have you read other books that are giving you possible other scenarios? Now, mind you, these two here are the same scenario, just East Coast, West Coast. That's it. That's the difference. East Coast, West Coast. This one here, it's focused in the West Coast to the north central, or not north central, I'm sorry, North Mountain area. Okay. There are several different things in these books that are going to give you thoughts. And I think they're worth the read and understanding. I think there is so many different titles of books and otherwise that I believe somebody that is trying to prep and learn about prepping should look into. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time and listening to my video here. If you have any thoughts or questions, or honestly, one of the things I'd love to see in this comment section for this one is what other book series would you recommend to somebody that they might not be a quote-unquote prepper here, but they read, they love to read. What books would you tell them to read that may start thought-provoking them, even if it's in the back of their mind? What is going to provide that thought process? Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.